Good morning and happy Tuesday. Let me know you are live coming in, so I know who's watching or on the replay. Just give me a hello. So, question today, a few kind of questions in this. Some stemming from our one of the one-to-ones I had the other week. Some stemming from something that comes up quite a lot in terms of it's hard. So, two elements to this: it being hard to change, which it is, and also like our habits, and also having the motivation to keep exercising after a few weeks. Because we all know it. We can do it for a week, and then it's like, I'm starting to lose a bit of motivation. And I just want to say first and foremost, in that it's okay to lose a bit of motivation. But anyway, if we look at problems, and something that comes up a lot is someone will say, it's really hard, like any change, like habit change, exercising, maybe when you don't really feel like it. And it is, I agree with that. But something that, and this is something that we'll be going over in our free 5-day kickstart, by the way, which will be, the link will be in the description if you want to join us. This is completely free. Not sure when I'll do this again. We are literally going to go through every step of transformation, putting a plan in place so you can leave literally with small habits that don't feel overwhelming. Anyway, something that comes up is, it's hard to change. It's hard to change our habits. Now, what I want you to consider with this is ask the question, hard compared to what? And this is something that's really helped me, because if you consider hard compared to what, we start to gather some information and some rational information about where we are right now. And when you can understand where you are right now, you might realise that, one, it's hard anyway. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be here now. We wouldn't be even looking to change if it wasn't hard. Morning, Karen. If it wasn't hard, we wouldn't want to change anyway. And then it brings me to problems. Our brain is almost wired to identify problems as a bad thing. And I could say, there's millions of problems. Like, when this pandemic started, it was like, I was thinking, bloody hell, what the hell? What do we do now? And then it was like, right, now all of a sudden, our home workouts, our online program is like 1,000,000 times better. And without the problem, it wouldn't have been like that. Like, we did home workouts anyway, but not to the extent we do now, not to like how we do it now. And it just reminded me of all the problems if you think of all the problems you've had in your life, nearly all of them have a breakthrough afterwards. And actually, you could argue that the more problems you have, the more breakthroughs, the better you are from it. To an extent, obviously. But if I go back and think, right, public speaking, like being pretty much, in my eyes, humiliated when I was doing my postgrad because I was too nervous to actually deliver. This is undergrad, actually. Deliver my presentation. I'd rather the world literally swallowed me up. Eating disorder, anorexia, very negative at the time. But now I look back and actually think it's weird how much you can learn from these problems that you've been through. Mum passing away when I was young. I could argue that, that was really negative. But if I flip that, it probably sped up my almost ability to be a bit more aware of life, like just how it works. Like, weird way to look at it, I know, but the more problems you have, technically the breakthrough comes. But if we now revert this back to, having the motivation to exercise, having the motivation to make a better choice of our food, although that might be hard, what's the alternative? Because there's always an alternative, and we sometimes fail to remember that, like in terms of our fitness, our health, the clothes we wear, our energy levels, our sleep, and how this will impact us. And I'm going to go back to that question. In 5 years from now, if nothing changes, what happens? Because is that harder than changing now? Deep question, I know, but something to think about. Second part of the question was having the motivation to exercise and keep going even after the honeymoon period is kind of over. This is something that comes up a lot because obviously, whenever anyone starts something, their motivation's super high. Morning, Jane. Motivation is super high. We're ready to go. Then maybe after a few weeks, we're starting to lag. And the quickest way to get out of this is to change what you're doing. So change what you're doing. Just change it up. You might go, like today, for example, this morning, we have a higher intensity session where we're using a bag. Then we have yoga with Bindu. Then we have a no floor, no squat, knee friendly workout. Then we have stomach blast workout tonight. So it's like you could choose any of them, and they're all recorded anyway, and do the one that suits you. And just change it up. If you've always been doing this one workout, change it to that one. It might be that you just go for a long walk today. Done. The key thing is to just do something if you're struggling for motivation, because quite often that motivation will come from the doing. I know it seems backwards, and it is, but when you think about it, exercise actually encourages motivation and more exercise. And with this, just know that it's okay not to feel motivated, because like I said, the exercise often is the thing that causes the motivation. And I'll say now that I'm meant to love this stuff in terms of exercise, right? You'd think that I would love exercise. The reality is, I don't mind it. It's not like, I don't find it amazing. I find the feeling of having exercised amazing. My energy levels, the feeling of accomplishment. I almost feel like it's instantly tension gone, more relaxed, ready to go. And as a result of that, better to be around, better with the family, more rational head on. And I'm able to perform at a higher level in terms of actually working with people too. Because this might sound weird, but years ago, it's like I can't practice what I don't really... I have to practice what I preach. Otherwise, it's like my words don't really feel right. So if I'm burnt out, never sleeping right, getting my exercise in, and then going, right, yeah, you need to look after you. Those words just don't have enough strength enough. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm not perfect. My self-care out the window. I'll stay up later and I'll be tired the next day and I might eat a bit worse. But what I'm trying to get at is being aware of those things, why we're doing them, what the consequences are, then making the decision that suits us, and not being perfect. Anyway, I've rambled on, and I must get to our session, which starts soon. Otherwise I'll run over like normal, and Bindu's yoga she'll be like, what's going on, Matt? Anyway, if you want to join us for our free 5-day kickstart, this is for ladies over 40, then details will be in the description above. It's completely free, 5 days of coaching. Also, let me know what you're going to do today to increase your motivation in terms of exercise. How can you change it up? What can you do? What's the smallest amount you could do? I'll finish on this. The 3-minute test. Commit to 3 minutes of exercise. If after 3 minutes you don't want to do it, give yourself permission to stop. At worst, you've done 3 minutes.